Hello everyone and welcome to my Seoul Grand Park National Vlog Tour. I put together this video because this place is huge and honestly a little bit confusing to navigate. I ended up going 2 days, so I wanted to start out with outside the park, which has a ton of sculpture gardens. This place is actually split into 3 places, and after taking the Seoul subway to get here, I ended up just kind of wandering outside the zoo, but I mostly came here for the zoo. With the zoo though, there are many other things to do, but first you're going to walk up to the platform and you're going to see the ticket vending machine. What you're going to want to get, you can make it English, so I did put it English here. You can make it Japanese or Korean as well, and I've had one adult ticket that I selected, and this is the ticket to take the train around the park. It is huge, as I'm telling you, in the middle of the mountain, and first you walk up to this train depot and get on one of these little trolleys, and here is me on the train, and the speaker lady is so loud, but look at this view. It is absolutely incredible, and this is what you're going to see as you're driving over to the zoo. There will be a group of people and some ticket people that are on the way there to help direct you, but honestly I was just like kind of overstimulated by the lady talking on a loudspeaker, so here's that. But yeah, then I got off the trolley and I got off at, I think, the second stop. There are 3 stops for the 3 different locations, and I got off at the zoo one. You will see the sign very clearly, and I picked up my zoo ticket, which was also very cheap, and some pamphlets of instructions, one in Korean and one in English, to help me learn as I was there studying, but also needed to see where I was going. So yeah, there's this huge map and there's 3 paths you can follow. I decided to follow the blue path first, and holy crap, it was hot outside. But first I saw this little cute area with some zebras. Zebras are one of my favorite animals, so I really wanted to see them first so I could make sure I had time. I got there pretty much an hour after it opened, and I discovered this emu. Just wanted to let you guys know that these things are way bigger in real life, and I discovered a new fear. Because why was I the only person at the zoo this day and it was looking at me like I was prey? It was so scary, and I never want to see one of these things again in person. I was way too close to it, in my opinion, and I think that thing could have taken me over that fence. But thankfully that didn't happen. Next, I moved on to this play park area. It had a ton of bronze statues of the hippos, and again, the sun was literally beating down on me. Oh my gosh, guys, if you come here, please, 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 for the love of God, bring a UV umbrella. Oh my goodness. I could hear the monkeys singing everywhere, so I decided to go to the ape pavilion. And once I got inside, there were a ton of areas to look. Honestly though, there were barely any people at the park this day, like that one couple that I tried to cut out. I saw maybe 10 people, definitely less than 20. It was crazy. All the cute little monkeys were in here. It was hard to see some of them because they were going in between outside and indoors, but they were pretty crazy. And there is actually another building with monkeys in it as well, or apes I suppose. But these guys were pretty cute and just kind of climbing everywhere. The animals were pretty active and they looked pretty good overall, is one thing that I did like to see, that they were pretty well taken care of. Everything was decently clean. I would say really clean. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. I think he was just so funny. There's 3 clips of him just munching because he's just munching. So I don't know. I really like this area. It was super fun, and it was a little bit cooler indoors. It's not the coolest part, but there were fans going in these areas. I was going in the middle of, or towards the end of July, early August, yeah. And I actually ended up coming here 2 days because it was so big, and I still didn't see everything. So I would make sure that you are able to spend all day here if you do want to go, but oh my goodness. So National Park is gorgeous. It's just huge. And here again, there's there's 8,000 clips of these monkeys because I just thought they were so cute and I was obsessed with them. Look at this little guy just sitting on his little box. And then outdoors, there's the ape pavilion outdoor part too. I begrudgingly went back outside to look at them, but they were very, very cute, and they were all swinging around happy with their balls. I did not see the gorillas though. I was honestly kind of too afraid to approach them that close, but then I followed a new path and found past these elephant structures to try and find whatever the next area is. I was sweating, and then I saw this thing called Harambe Port, which is where the hippos were, and I was like, oh, bring me back to 2016 memory, but you know. So then I saw rhinos and hippos in this area. First I have the hippo shots, and there were 2 of them that I could see, and they were just swimming around, sloshing in the sun. It was super cute, and you could see them. I'm a decently short woman, and I was able to see almost all of the animals without going on my tippy toes, so that's pretty nice.
Reimagined.
And then I saw, oh my gosh, this part was so fun, the little meerkats! Ah! They were just trotting around in their little den, and oh my gosh, I love them so much. Look at how cute he is. A lot of them were in the shade this day or panting really heavily because it was so hot. It was so hot. I cannot stress enough this sunscreen, UV umbrella, and honestly maybe a hat and an ice pack because it was so hot. Then I saw these rhinos, and I decided to brave it and go into the bug kingdom. Now, I mostly went into the bug kingdom to see tarantulas because I really like tarantulas. I think they're pretty fascinating. Once I got inside, though, I saw there were a ton of bugs, ones that were too big for me personally, and ones that I did not know the names of. But you could press any of those buttons to hear what they sounded like. I did not, because I did not want to. I think I am much better off not knowing what these are. But some of the stuff was pretty cute in here. It was pretty difficult to navigate around. Honestly, I just kept wandering. And some of the doors were closed just based on the day that I was there. I don't know what the pattern for that is. Maybe there's construction going. And then they had like the naked mole rat setup. Normally they have them burrowed, but in this room they had all of the different labels of the rooms they're in, and you could see clearly through it. And this was so funny because that one guy in the bottom left corner, he is just really struggling. He is really struggling. He wants to go somewhere, but he can't. And then I was kind of hoping this is where tarantulas would be, and there were some, but I could not find most of them. But anyway, I ended up going to the outdoor part of the bug pavilion where I saw this koi fish pond. This part was a bit cooler because it was semi-indoors, but it didn't really have fans or like AC or anything. The fishies were so cute. I didn't have any food for them and I wanted to pet them so bad, but I know I shouldn't have, so I just kind of like teased them with my finger and pretended to pet them in my mind. And then they had a bunch of these tanks set up with different frogs and turtles that you could look at, and they were adorable. They all had pretty filtered habitats, which is very good. And then I started to try to make my way out of this area. There was so much to look at, and I could have spent a lot longer here. So cute. But when I exited the bug pavilion outdoor section, oh, there's a turtle, he's so cute. I did see this really cute cat, just a stray cat at the zoo, adorable. And I ended up going into this new area, which I don't remember the name of, maybe like Mammal Pavilion, mammals. There's porcupines, which are so cool to see in person. These cutie raccoons, I just kept walking around. I was obsessed with them. They're so fluffy. Look at these guys. Oh. And a bunch of other creatures that you wouldn't normally see, but the area was under construction at the time. Although you could see all of the animals, even though it was under construction, and they had these bats. It was really hard to get the camera view on them, but hopefully you're able to see. There were so many in here. And to be honest, by this point, I was starting to get lost. And I mean pretty lost. The map was not doing me any favors at this point. I was kind of just walking around, and when I saw something new, I would see it. They had the Australian pavilion area, like, kind of off to the side of the bug place and the little rodent mammal place. But it was pretty empty, and it looked like they were kind of mostly fencing off that place, so it might be being replaced or renovated, I'm not sure. And then I ended up walking over to the elephant kind of area, but then I'm pretty sure this is a leopard, not a cheetah. I'm not 100% sure. I need to wait for it to get closer. But he was just a skinny little guy, very cute though, and seemed to be very overheated, which I can understand and sympathize with as it was so hot that day. But he looks so cute. Oh my gosh, look at that tail. Okay, now that I'm looking at him up close, I'm pretty sure that's a cheetah, actually. So, yeah. He's a little skinny guy, but he was just lounging and just sitting in front of this tank, and I guess not tank, but enclosure wall, and the kids loved looking and pointing at him. It was super cute. And then I tried to tackle the rest of the map. Look, I had only been on the bottom half. There's still an entire top half. Oh my gosh. And for some reason, everything in South Korea is like on a slight incline, so I was essentially dying. But I got to the bird part. I didn't film much. They were just normal birds, but this part was so fun. When I was in here, they just had free flying birds, and they would come up to your feet, and they were just so cute. I loved it in there. And then here is the second ape building. like kind of ape pavilion, and they had these crazy monkeys in here. This guy just wanted to shake and shake and shake everything. He was trying to get out for real. Like, I think I have some more footage in here, but they did have, maybe this is a yellow tamarin. I think that's too big, but look at that guy on the left shaking. He's just shaking everything. That's what he was doing the entire time. It was so funny. I could not stop watching. I would have liked to see some more monkeys, but, like that, just in general, they had almost all of them here. Look at this guy! What is he doing? He's crazy! They honestly had such a big, diverse selection here. It was the perfect amount of different apes and monkeys that you could ever want to see. Look at him! Oh my gosh, he's trying to break out. So if you're like, I'm not sure I'll see enough here, you absolutely will. Then they had this second part of it with this big guy just swinging around. Yep, just swinging. And, as I was moving through, they had like the light and the darker ones. The dark black ones are super beautiful to look at. And yeah, they even had, of course, some of our favorites climbing around. Oh, babies. I wasn't able to see the orangutans really while I was there. They're pretty lethargic dudes, and I was not tall enough to see over those enclosures. But I did see these cute guys, so it was a win. Overall, there's the little black guys. Oh, isn't he so cute? Eating a carrot. Yeah, he's really cute. And I'm pretty sure these aren't monkeys. They have like a Samiids or like a special name. I don't remember, but I really love them. And I spent a lot of time in this area. It wasn't close, so it wasn't as hot, but still wasn't super cool. And then I braved the weather outside again and decided to walk into the dolphin, like marine area. Marine life is my favorite to look at. So I tried to come over here. There were barely any workers. I honestly didn't know what was going on. And so I walked into the enclosure. This was the coolest part of the entire place. If you're overheated and need somewhere to cool off, come in here. They also have the quiet space library. But then I entered back outside and there was no water in this tank. A lot of the informational stuff honestly was about why it's abusive to keep dolphins in enclosures though, so I think it was more like a learning of the past, which was really cool to see. So they didn't have any dolphins in there that I could find, but they did have some outdoor loungy water creatures. They had a lot of seals, they had a walrus, a sea lion while I was over here. So here is some footage of these little guys lounging about in their water. This was really fun to see. Yeah. And then I started heading back to the front of the zoo and exiting, and this was the flamingos that are right at the front door. And I decided to go into one of the gift shops. The second one was closed while I was there, but I did come back the second day and hit that one up. I didn't really get anything, but I did get this fluffy aqua keychain. I thought it was really cute. And then I decided on the way back, instead of taking the bus and the train, to take the Sky Tram. And this was honestly one of the best things I did while I was in South Korea because the view was absolutely jaw-dropping. It was just me and my skull panda and my fuzzy little starfish keychain as we rode this in complete silence, and it was just so beautiful. And here you are to enjoy some of those clips and scenery.
Artlist.io.
But yeah, that was my Seoul Zoo vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this helped. Leave any questions down below.